I think we had a lot of chances in the second half as well. We had a lot of knockdowns that we could have capitalised on in around the 18-yard box. We could have scored 3, I think, in the first half. We had a couple of good chances. I think Boydie had a few. And, you know, it is what it is, where it can be a cruel sport at times. I think some of the football we played was very productive, and ultimately you've got to finish your chances.
What do you do as this team's coach when you see... Interim coach. When you see them getting chance after chance and just not being able to put the ball back, what is that a function of?
Great question. I suppose if we had the answer, we wouldn't be in this position right now. I wouldn't be answering that question. But again, you know, you're going over it in training. It's reinforcing good habits in front of goal, hitting the target, putting the ball in the back of the net, and it's about having the right people and being given those opportunities. I think should have tonight been a different night for 1 or 2 players. They would have had a couple of goals. It's just when it's going against you, you know, it really does pile up at times. And I think we did enough tonight. You saw the same game I saw, so I'm not going to tell you that anything I think you don't know. But you know, it was disappointing. We're creating chances, we're getting in good areas, and you know, on a different night maybe we put a couple of those away. But we'll reassess, we'll work on it in training and try and give the players as much confidence and self-belief going into the next game.
Did you get a sense that they were pressing when the score goes? I mean, obviously frustrated, but they were pressing in terms of just trying really hard.
I think from the start I thought we were pressing. We played with 3 up top, and it was an honest 3 up top. And you know, part of that was to stop them from playing out, and I think the numerous chances that we did create in the first half were from us winning the ball in their half and looking to break quickly. I think we were pressing the entire game, you know, and I think the urgency was definitely there, and they feel the responsibility just like I do, just like the other coaches do, and you know, it's something has to change, and you can't fault the effort, you can't fault the mentality. I think going into it, you know, and reassessing the game, we'll sit down and watch it, but you know, it's about putting your chances away, I think.
Gavin, what did you see on the goal from your vantage point? How would you walk us through that? The goal that they scored.
Anything I say is, you know, what we talk about is discipline and making the right choices in the right areas, and that's all I can say.
Gavin, McCauley was pretty visible in the technical area. Yeah. Was he sort of running the show tonight?
No, I think it's a collaborative effort. You know, I've known Sean for a long time. You know, we probably spent 6-7 hours today just sitting down looking over things, and spent a lot of time, you know, over the last couple of days. And for me, it was a different voice for the players. You know, something to try and change things a little bit. But we brought him in as an assistant coach. He's not a head coaching candidate, and he's going to be an assistant coach next year. We brought him in to strengthen the coaching staff and to give him a role. So to put him in and ask for more of him, I think is healthy for the club. He definitely has a wealth of knowledge, and he's a very valuable individual. The preparation this week in training has been very good. Ultimately, professional sports is all about winning, but the product that you saw, I think, on a different night would have won. It's a cruel sport, as I said at times.
Will he be taking more of the lead as the season progresses?
I would look for that, definitely. And that's for no other reason other than, you know, I've been the interim head coach, I will remain the interim head coach. By bringing Sean in, I've said it's a different voice, we can get a better feel of the players moving forward, and it allows me to better balance the responsibilities. We've still got to look for players for next season in the transfer window. We've still got to look to improve the quality of the squad. But I keep talking about the ability of our players, and tonight the part that was missing was in front of goal, but I think you saw some fantastic football, to be honest, at times. And you had some players tonight. Brent Richards made his first start, and I think it was a good sign for the club. You know, Frank Songo I thought was tremendous in the first half and fatigued a little bit. But then you've got Khalif coming in, and I thought Khalif made a great contribution when he came on, and you know, was unlucky probably not to start. But when you analyse that game and you start to look at how many players that we had that played well, and then the result is what it is, it's very disappointing. It is disappointing.
You laid out a playoff roadmap a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Are you having to reconfigure the goals for this team now down the stretch?
Yeah, I think you've always got to reassess. It was something that we were using to try and inspire the group to look at saying, here's where we would like to be. Is it out of reach? No. Would we need to go on a hell of a run? Yes. But You know, when Merritt put me into this position, he said, start to try and find out more about the group. I think we have made some strides in certain areas. You know, I think that you could see the system that we were trying to play tonight. You could see what we were trying to do, how we were trying to create things. And again, I just think we missed that final product. But we will continue to reassess and find different ways to motivate the players for sure.
Gavin, the penalty on Frank that led to the goal, was that just a mental lapse on him pulling the player back? What happened on that penalty that led to the goal?
It was a free kick, and a free kick in that area, you know, he slowed the game down. I can't fault Frank. You know, if you get beaten, you've got to make quick decisions. And he got a yellow card for it. I'm surprised a few players didn't get yellow cards against Frank for what they were doing to him for most of the evening. But for Frank, it's playing with maturity, it's slowing the game down. We should be able to defend from that position. You know, ultimately, you do not want to give away free kicks in the attacking half, in your defensive half. But we have the players capable of defending that, and they had other chances. But when you start to look at the stats, and that's not the reason we lost. You know, we talk about the discipline again. We talk about making decisions in vital areas. I think we had 20 shots. I think 11 corners, and again, it just wasn't our night.
Gavin, did you see any quit from your team tonight?
Absolutely. Did you? No, I didn't. I thought they were tremendous. I think the subs that we made had a positive influence. I should have probably given Danny more time, you know, to try and change things. But going with 3 at the back and opening yourselves up that way, you know, it can be dangerous as well. But what people don't understand is that they're a good group of people. That they do thoroughly care, and they're distraught right now. So for us, it's a matter of, you know, wrapping your arm around them and trying to get them to keep going in the right direction, because there's been certain improvements made. And, you know, we haven't had a pre-season to try and correct some of the things that we may have perceived were wrong. You know, we've come into the middle of the season, we're trying to put them, you know, steer them back on path as such, and it's been difficult.
One more, please.
Fans certainly weren't happy after the game. You've been around these fans maybe longer than anybody in this organization. What's your reaction to how they reacted?
I still think they're tremendous. I think they're the most passionate group of fans, and, you know, what they don't see is that I care just as much as them. That there's a reason I'm working as hard as I am to try and fix it, and that, you know, I value them very, very highly. That they shouldn't be happy. You know, we're losing, but they can't fault the effort. They can't fault the direction of the club. They can't fault what we're trying to do, in all honesty. And, you know, when you start to critique certain things, you've got to look at it holistically as well. And, you know, ultimately, the performance tonight, I thought, was reasonable, on the better side of reasonable. And professional sports is all about winning, and that's what they care about, that's what we care about. And, you know, in my position, I care about a lot of other things, but ultimately it's about winning.
Thank you. Locker room's over.
Thank you.